Learn English through stories. U45 Answers PDF. Adapted and modified by Kulwant Singh Sandhu. Contents. Vocabulary. 6 tests. Answers. 1. Use the word given in capitals below to form a word that fits in the gaps. User's Manual. Congratulations on becoming the owner of an EpicView digital camcorder. The following advice is designed to help you get maximum enjoyment out of using your camera and viewing the results. You now have the chance to demonstrate your creativity to your friends and family. Since most video productions are of everyday occasions, it's only your talent which can make them look extraordinary. Pay attention to the composition of your shots. Include only what you want your audience to see. Make sure that the background is attractive. Watch out for brightly colored objects or clothing that could be distracting. Check that the camera is properly focused. It will be done automatically because of the self-focus feature, but you will get greater clarity if you use the manual controls. 2. Complete the second sentence so that it has a similar meaning to the first sentence, using the word given. Do not change the word given. You must use between 3 and 6 words, including the word given. 1. There has never been such a large rock festival in this country. This year's rock festival is on a larger scale than any other held in this country. 2. They have to do a lot of preparation before they start shooting each scene. A lot of preparation goes into each scene before shooting begins. 3. The film was an adaptation of a novel by Tom Sharp. They based the film on a novel by Tom Sharp. 4. Could you take a quick look at my essay before I hand it in? Would you mind casting an eye over my essay before I hand it in? 5. I can't imagine what Rod is planning to buy me for Christmas. I don't have the faintest idea what Rod is planning to buy me for Christmas. 6. How much I earn is a personal matter. It's none of your business how much I earn. 7. Journalists are expected to work until late at night. Journalists are expected to put in long hours. 8. Have Liz and John decided when they are getting married? Have Liz and John set a date for their wedding? 3. Read the text below and think of the word which best fits each gap. Use only one word in each gap. A fascinating life. One of the most memorable biographies I have ever read describes the life of Cora Jordan, an 18th century actress. She first appeared on stage at the age of 15, and in no time had become a household name. Newspaper gossip about her personal life contributed to her meteoric rise to fame, especially when in 1791 she began a romance with Prince William, who became king much later. Their relationship was to last more than 20 years, during which time Dora bore him 10 children. She continued her career in the theater and remained in the limelight like a modern celebrity. Yet, despite her years of devotion to William and their children, not to mention the financial support she had given him, he eventually abandoned her under pressure from his royal advisors in order to marry a suitably royal bride. Forbidden to see her children, Dora was forced to leave the country and died alone in France in 1816. It was fascinating to read about an unmarried working mother in those days, about her glamorous life and her tragic end, but the aspect I really enjoyed was the portrayal of Dora herself. She comes across as a real person, talented and famous, but also a loyal and honest woman who loved her children. It's a brilliant book, and would recommend it to anyone who likes reading about the rich and famous. 4. Choose the word or phrase that best completes the sentence. 1. The jury is to announce its verdict tomorrow. 2. To my annoyance, I found I had to do more paperwork before the permit could be granted. 3. Management had been discussing ways to save money for months before the layoffs. 4. Look at Courtney in this photo. Did she always used to be so thin? 5. Julie was so engrossed in her book that she didn't hear her sister come in. 6. When the delay was announced, we realized that we wouldn't have enough time to catch our next flight. 7. The firm has doubled its profits since it broadened its range of products. 8. What do you think of these books? In many respects, the two novels are similar. 9. The recruits resigned themselves to a month's hard training. 10. What exactly does this tax change mean for lower-income families? 11. The producer refused outright to discuss any of the actors' demands for more pay. 12. Iron should not be taken in conjunction with certain vitamins. 13. She has shown complete dedication to her career. 14. Of course, I thought your song was the highlight of the show. 15. His negative attitude came across in the interview. 16. Ms. Fisher has a very influential position on the committee. 17. I wonder if my lecturer can shed any light on this essay for me. 18. Ed lost credibility when he forgot his employees' names. 19. He's so ambitious that he'll do anything to further his career, even at the expense of others. 20. The novel is basically a tale of a brilliant artist living in poverty. 5. Read the passage, then select the word or phrase that best fills the blank in both meaning and grammar. The Jazz Singer, 1927, has gone down in history as the first talkie of film in which the actors' voices were heard. In films made prior to that, dialogues and narration appeared as titles for the audience to read. However, moviegoers had never watched these so-called silent movies in silence. From the very beginning, various attempts were made to add sound, starting with an 1895 mechanism which piped music into the ears of those who were looking into a kinetoscope, the first motion picture viewing device. This was unpopular, however, and the most common way of providing a sound accompaniment was to have actors and musicians behind the screen. The most luxurious venues provided an orchestral accompaniment, while even the smallest cinema would employ an individual pianist. The technology required to put sound directly on film had been available since 1900, but executives of most film studios did not want to invest any of their profits in re-equipping theaters and retraining casts and crews. The Warner Bros. Studio, however, co-founded a company which went on to produce the first talking film, Don Juan, in 1926, followed a year later by The Jazz Singer. In no time, the entire industry was making the transition to sound. This had implications for both the process of filmmaking and the films themselves. Directors could no longer shout instructions during filming, and this meant that rehearsal became necessary. Cameras now had to be immobile, and actors had to be close to hidden microphones, severely limiting cinematic creativity until further technological innovations were introduced. 6. Complete each sentence using a word from the box. 1. Try to make a habit of noticing good collocations in any text you read. 2. A railway official asked us to move our luggage to make room for the boy's bike. 3. The new CEO has made a lot of enemies by being so autocratic. 4. If Pauline makes a success of this project, she'll probably get promoted. 5. The old gentleman said he was delighted to make acquaintance. 6. Do you think you'll make an offer on the flat you viewed yesterday? 7. Every young scientist dreams of making a discovery that will change the world. 8. Rachel made no attempt to contact me when she was over here last year. 9. We tried to make a stand against the new housing development, but to no avail. The contractors started work this morning. 10. The calculations that you made contained a few inaccuracies.